Number 10. There's no such thing as pilots and co-pilots. Pilots hate being called co-pilots. The only distinction we make is captain and first officer. That's it. Both flight crew members are pilots and both fly the airplane in the same way. The main difference, besides the experience, and the salary of course, is that the captain is always the final responsible one on board. Number 9. Early morning wake-ups. And we're not talking about waking up at 6 or 7 in the morning, but rather at 3 or 4. Doing this for 5 days in a row pretty much screws up all your sleeping patterns, and with time it impacts your health. This job is definitely as rewarding as it is tiring. Number 8. Being away from the family. There's rarely such thing as a stable life for an airline pilot. Pilots very often miss birthday parties and other important celebrations. Many times you need to sacrifice your family life for this job. After years of career, spending your daughter's birthday in a hotel room is not that exciting. Number 7. Expensive flight training. In Europe, airline pilots' initial training cost around 100,000 euros, including the type rating. It is absolutely outrageous to pay this amount of money to be able to find a job. The good old days when airlines used to fully sponsor the pilot's training are long gone, unfortunately. Make sure to click on the like button to help out the channel, and let's keep going. Number 6. Pilots hate delays even more than passengers do. Pilots have no satisfaction whatsoever when they cannot take off. In fact, in most airlines, the flight crew doesn't even get paid until the moment the parking brake is released. Delays mean a later checkout and therefore a later return home, which is definitely not nice. Number 5. Pilots hate being underpaid. It is outrageous that someone flying the same aircraft, in the same country, from the same airport gets a lower salary than a colleague flying for a different airline. Unfortunately, very often, regulatory institutions go hand in hand with airlines, so these inequalities are not monitored and addressed. Number 4. Pilots hate standby duties. This is when the airline can call the pilot at any time during a specified period to take a flight, due to a colleague's last-minute unavailability. So you're basically enjoying a dinner at home with the family, and 1 hour later you're in the airplane ready to fly half across the globe. I told you, there's no stability. Number 3. Doing the walk around in cold, rainy weather. Only thinking of the idea of being wet and cold is giving me shivers. Imagine, you need to leave the cozy, warm flight deck to go down and have a walk around the aircraft. Besides, all pilots take this task very seriously as the pre-flight walk-around is crucial for the safety of the flight. Number 2. Pilots dislike ignorant passengers. When pilots experience a weather delay and someone is busting into their face telling you that he's been on airplanes flying in much worse weather conditions is a typical example. Very often, pilots don't even bother listening to such constructive and lovely remarks. Before we jump into the last number of this top 10, make sure to subscribe to our channel if you want to watch more videos just like this one. Number 1. Pilots hate the public opinion of them doing nothing. Very often, the airline pilot job is perceived as a lazy job where everything is done by the autopilot. You need to know that nowadays airplanes would be almost impossible to be flown without an autopilot. Most of the flights, pilots land the aircraft by themselves, sometimes in extreme conditions of wind shear, stormy weather, high terrain, and so on. Leave a comment if you think there are other things that airline pilots dislike. I hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel to never miss an upload.